A soul's whisper. There comes a moment in life where you stop asking, "What am I supposed to do?" and instead whisper, "Why do I feel responsible for pain I didn't cause?" It's not guilt. It's not overthinking. It's a soul memory. A memory from before this body, before this life. Because you didn't come here by accident. You were sent as a guardian soul. You felt it in moments no one saw. When you stayed awake through someone else's breakdown. When you absorbed chaos in a room so others could breathe. When you didn't just survive pain, you transmuted it. And now, it's time to remember who you really are. Sign 1. People collapse their walls around you. And you don't know why. You walk into a space, and something happens. The masks fall. The stories come pouring out. The truth rises from people's chests like they've been waiting their whole lives to exhale. You don't force it. You don't even try. It's because your energy says, "You're safe here." That's not just kindness. That's your frequency. Guardian souls emit something ancient, a field of stillness, created lifetime after lifetime of standing in the fire for others. What you don't always see is how sacred this is, because being a safe place in a collapsing world is not small work. It is holy. Sign 2. Your empathy isn't a trait. It's a language of the soul. You've been told you feel too much. But what if that's exactly what you were born to do? What if your ability to feel the unseen, to cry for strangers, to ache for someone else's burden, isn't sensitivity? It's a sacred dialect your soul never forgot. Guardian souls speak in energy, not words. You've always felt the unspoken. You've always sensed the storm before it came. You weren't given this gift for drama. You were given it for intervention. Your empathy doesn't make you fragile. It makes you a bridge between the wounded and their healing. Sign 3. You're drawn to the broken, not because you can fix them, but because you remember their light. You've been pulled to the hurting people society avoids. You lean in. You sit beside the addict, the misfit, the one everyone gave up on, not because you need to rescue them, but because you see the soul behind the story. You remember who they were before the trauma. You recognize something eternal in their eyes. Guardian souls are mirrors, not of who people are now, but who they could be if they remembered their own light. And sometimes, the pain of seeing potential wasted has been unbearable, but you stayed anyway, because somewhere inside, you knew they weren't hopeless, just forgotten. Sign 4. You were hurt by the ones you protected, but you still choose love. This part is the hardest. You showed up with open arms. You offered your heart without calculation, and it was thrown back at you. Guardian souls often learn betrayal through those that love the most, because your light challenged their shadows. Your healing presence forced buried pain to the surface, and not everyone is ready to heal. You could have closed, hardened, retreated, but you didn't. You still believe in people. You still choose to love, and that choice, in the face of heartbreak, makes you one of the rarest souls walking this earth. Sign 5. You get warnings, not just for you, but for others. Have you ever known someone was in danger before they told you? Felt urgency without explanation? Had dreams or instincts you couldn't shake? That's not anxiety. That's your guardian blueprint. You were given access to subtle realms, not to play prophet, but to intervene when needed most. Guardian souls are stationed across families, communities, and soul groups like spiritual emergency responders. You don't always get logical proof, but your inner alarm doesn't lie, and when you follow it, you prevent pain others never knew was coming. That's not paranoia. That's protection in action. Sign 6. Your darkness wasn't punishment. It was preparation. There are chapters of your life you've never spoken about. Pain so deep, it altered your heartbeat. Loneliness so thick, it swallowed your voice. And yet, you rose. Not because you wanted to be strong, but because your soul was being reforged. Guardian souls are not chosen from comfort. They are shaped in shadows. You didn't just survive. You were trained in silence and agony and surrender. So that when someone else stands where you once stood, you don't flinch. You look them in the eye and say, "I know this place. Let me walk you out." Sign 7. You feel most alive around children, animals, In wild nature, there is something about innocence that calls your soul forward. The gaze of a child, the trust of an animal, the silence of a forest. These aren't just comforting, they're sacred reminders. Because your soul once guarded these things in temples, in tribes, in unseen realms. You were a keeper of innocence before you were ever human. So when you're near purity, you remember your true frequency. You feel that ache in your chest, the one that says, "This is what I was made to protect." It's not nostalgia, it's memory. Sign 8. You can't ignore injustice, even when it's easier to stay quiet. You've tried to keep your head down. Stay out of it. To let others handle the conflict. But then, someone is silenced, or harmed, or disrespected, and something ancient rises in your chest. You can't unsee it. You can't unfeel it. Because guardian souls carry the protector archetype in their bones. Not every protector holds a sword. Some hold truth, even when it trembles. Some stand alone, shaking, but refusing to look away. You didn't choose this role, but when the time comes, you always choose what's right, even when no one else does. Sign 9. Your dreams are gateways to your soul's other work. You've had dreams that felt more real than waking life. You've seen faces you've never met, but no. You've been flying, rescuing, fighting, healing. That's not imagination. That's memory bleeding through dimensions. Guardian souls often serve in realms beyond this one. You may be working in dream space, protecting other souls, carrying messages, or holding energetic fields. It's why you often wake up tired, even after sleep. Your service doesn't stop at the physical. You are a multidimensional protector, walking in two worlds at once. Sign 10. You know, deep down, that you're here for a sacred purpose despite all the noise, despite the doubt, the burnout, the questioning. There's a quiet knowing that's never left you. It whispers in the background. It flares up in the silence. It says, "You're not just here to survive. You're here to safeguard something sacred." Maybe you don't know what yet. Maybe it's not grand or public. Maybe it's just one child, one soul, one story. But make no mistake, your presence here matters. The way you love, the way you show up, the way you see through the pain and choose to stay soft. It changes lives in ways you may never fully know. You are a guardian soul, and your time has always been now. Shield closing invitation. If this stirred something in your chest, a pain you didn't have words for, but always carried, then this wasn't a video, this was a reminder. Drop a shield in the comments if you feel seen. Or just say, "I remember." You are not alone. We are waking up, one guardian at a time, and together, we protect the light. Even in the darkest of hours, your path doesn't end here. Click the next video on screen. Your soul chose this journey long before this moment. Welcome back, Guardian.